All right, so we got some new basketball stuff, some new NBA stuff. We knew that the Golden State Warriors were going to be hosting on opening night, but we didn't know who they were going to play. It comes out that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to be headed to the Bay Area to face off with the Warriors, LeBron versus Steph Curry, October 18th. A lot of people I see on Twitter are complaining about this matchup. I don't know why, because every time the Warriors and the Lakers face off, it's always a fun match. When the Warriors and Lakers played last year on opening night, it was a fun game. Westbrook's first game with the Lakers. When the Warriors and the Lakers played a couple seasons ago in that play-in tournament for the seventh seed versus the eighth seed, that was a very fun game. I think that was the most watched game of the NBA season that year. Even when the Warriors played the Lakers a few times during the regular season this past season, every game was a good one. It felt like all of them were on ABC. Besides that opening night when that was on TNT, the other three were on ABC, and they were all good games. It was all competitive, whether Anthony Davis was there or not, whether Klay Thompson was playing in the game or not. It was always good games. So Warriors versus Lakers, LeBron James, Steph Curry. Look, they might not be the best players in the league anymore. You could argue that Steph Curry is. I know a lot of people do. I don't really think anybody who really watches the NBA hardcore and isn't biased says that LeBron James is still the best player in the league. But nonetheless, these are the two guys. Because Giannis and KD and Luka, a lot of these international guys are guys like KD, Kawhi, who are low-profile guys. Steph Curry and LeBron James, they're still the breadwinners. They're still the money makers for the NBA. They're still the guys who, when you think about the NBA, the first name that comes to mind is LeBron, or the first name that comes to mind is Steph Curry. Like, these guys are the faces of the NBA right now, and when you can get these guys to face off against each other in what's a NorCal versus SoCal matchup, it's the best thing that you can get out of the NBA on opening night. I wouldn't have it any other way. So a lot of complaints about this matchup, a lot of complaints about wanting to have a better team facing off against the Warriors on opening night. Look, my only complaint is that Draymond and LeBron are super buddy-buddy. It'd be even more interesting if LeBron and Draymond had that beef that they used to have and were coming at each other's throats in that first game of the season. That would make this even more fun. But nonetheless, bro, it's still Lakers, Warriors. It's still LeBron, Steph Curry. And it's going to be a fun opening night game. October 18th. Can't wait for that. Okay, so we also got some leaks for the Christmas Day games. Once again, guys, these are leaks. I'm hearing the official schedule is going to be dropping on Wednesday. But for now, we're just going off of what Shams is saying. 5 games on Christmas. We knew the Warriors would get a Christmas game. They're playing the Grizzlies on Christmas Day. The Dallas Mavericks are playing the Lakers. We knew Luka and LeBron would both get an opportunity on Christmas Day. The Nuggets are playing the Suns. The Knicks are playing the Sixers. The Celtics are playing the Bucks. I'm just going to go through each game real quick. Warriors versus Memphis. I really love that matchup. There's a lot of intensity between these two teams. I saw somebody on Twitter with a lot of a big following say something like, I think it was the Guru guy on Twitter. He said that the Warriors and Grizzlies aren't a rivalry. And I just really disagree. If the Warriors are the OGs versus the Young Bucks, the Memphis Grizzlies, if you put the Memphis Grizzlies on a lie detector test, sure, they're going to tell you they want to win a championship more than anything. But I think the number one thing on their mind is how are we going to beat Golden State? I think when the Grizzlies wake up, those guys, they just want to beat the Warriors. Like, they would enjoy that just as much as a championship, honestly. I think that's that hurdle that's right in front of them that every young team has to get past. This Warriors team, if you guys remember back in like 2013, 2014, the hurdle that the Warriors had to go through was the Los Angeles Clippers. That was the team that the Warriors were bumping their head against and just couldn't really figure out for a while. And it's like that with the Memphis Grizzlies and the Warriors right now. The Grizzlies are just bumping their head trying to figure out how can we get past these guys. So that's going to be a fun Christmas Day game. There's going to be a lot of intensity with that. Once again, I wish that Draymond wasn't so buddy-buddy with guys. Draymond and Ja going back and forth, but they're showing a lot of love at the same time. It would be nice just for the spirit of the game if there was just a little bit of bad blood. Just you don't have to take it too far, but just make it feel like you guys are coming for each other's necks, please. Moving on, we got the Dallas Mavericks and the Lakers. Like I said earlier, Luka and LeBron were both going to get an opportunity on Christmas Day. Luka gets a lot of comparisons to LeBron in regards to his style of play. I think that's going to be a fun matchup for the simple fact that most of the time when the Mavs and Lakers play, it's always a close game. There's like a game winner. Austin Reeves hit like a big shot, I think, against the Mavs one time. Danny Green hit like a big shot against the Mavs one time. So the Mavs and the Lakers, there's like a history of them kind of going back and forth. Jason Kidd and Jared Dudley on the Mavs staff, they were Lakers. Jason Kidd coached the Lakers, and Jared Dudley was on the bench for the Lakers the championship season. So there's a lot of connections between the two teams. The Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns squaring off on Christmas Day. Those are two of your, you know, top upper half of the Western Conference teams. The Suns keeping Aiden, the Nuggets getting Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray back. These are two teams that are going to have real good records around Christmas Day. These are two teams that you expect to see in the second round of the Western Conference playoffs, possibly further. You know, these are teams that are borderline contenders. When you think of the Denver Nuggets, you're not saying, oh, they're going to win the championship next season. When you think of the Suns, I think everybody would say, oh, they got a chance to win the championship. But after that flame out at the end of last year, and after flaming out against the Bucks, losing 4 straight, you kind of wonder if that's just the max that this team can go. So you know that the Suns and the Nuggets, you're going to get some real good basketball out of them, and it's going to be a good showdown on Christmas Day between the two. But you just don't know exactly how far either of these teams can go. I mean, the Nuggets, they made some good additions. Bruce Brown, KCP. It's really going to be, can they get a stop? Because this team, and I was thinking of like the great coaches in the NBA. Mike Malone, he's not a tier 1 head coach in the NBA. He's probably not even a tier 2 head coach in the NBA. I would say Monty Williams is like at the top end of tier 2, right below the super elite guys in tier 1. Mike Malone might not even be tier 2. He might be like a tier 3 quality coach, but I would put him in that tier 2 just for the simple fact that his guys play hard for him. Like, they don't give up, they don't quit. When they're down in series, they'll be down 3-0 and they'll win that game 4 even if they don't really have anything to play for. They'll win that game 4 just off of pride. Or they'll be down 3-1 and they'll come back and win the series or make it competitive. Like, that's what this team does for him. You know, they ride out for him. So he clearly has the pulse of the team. You would like them to play with more urgency early on, so that way like they wouldn't be down so much in series. But nonetheless, he has a good pulse on the team, and Mike Malone is a guy who he's good on the offensive end, and he has good weapons to help him on the offensive end. But his problem has always been defense, and he doesn't really have players. He doesn't really have the right personnel, so I can't really blame it on him too much. Jamal Murray. He's not going to guard nobody. Jokic, not really going to guard nobody. MPJ, their best players don't defend. That's what it is. Their best players don't defend. But now you got Aaron Gordon, KCP, Bruce Brown. You're starting to put some guys around them who will maybe just go all out on the defensive end. And we'll see how that pans out for them. I'm really interested to see how Denver plays this season. Moving on, we got the Knicks and the Sixers. Interesting matchup. I kind of feel like if I'm watching the Knicks, I want to watch them go against Trae Young so I can hear the chants, the F Trae Young chants. I want to see Trae Young go crazy in the Garden. But maybe we've seen enough of that. Maybe the Knicks just don't bring that high level quality of basketball anymore where we really even want to watch them on Christmas Day. But hey, they got Jalen Brunson. If they get Donovan Mitchell, that would make this really exciting. The Philadelphia 76ers. There's KD rumors, so that would make this really crazy if KD was going against the Knicks on Christmas Day. But even without KD, James Harden and Embiid, I wish it was in the Garden. It'll still be fun in Philadelphia, especially if they're losing and the Philly fans just start booing on Christmas Day. That would be hilarious. But that's a cool matchup. We'll see how it pays out. That's probably the weakest game that I see on this slate of games. And rounding it out, we got the Celtics and the Bucks, who probably, I would guess the Knicks game is going to be the earliest game, but the Celtics game will probably come on next. And that Celtics-Bucks matchup will be a fun one. We got the two top teams in the Eastern Conference. The Celtics go a legit 10 deep, with 10 guys who you can play. And if you really wanted to be strict in the postseason and say, hey, Gallinari and Peyton Pritchard, I don't know what they're going to bring me on the defensive end. I don't want to play them in a series, or I don't want to play them more than a couple minutes in a series. I want to have all 8 guys that in my rotation play lockdown defense. You can sit those two and you can still run out there with 8 guys who play real good defense. Like, when I watch the Celtics, teams target Derek White as if Derek White's a bad defender. If Derek White was on another team, he would be like their defensive stopper. Like, legitimately, Derek White is like, if this was 2K, Derek White is like a B-plus perimeter defender, bro. Like, Derek White is he's a really good defender. He's not the biggest guy, So that's probably the biggest weakness is like he's not like some huge strong guy, but he's a good defender. So when you go that deep like the Celtics do, they have that postseason experience now. They made a deep run in the NBA playoffs. A game away from a game 7. So in the NBA finals, so they've made that deep push. And the Eastern Conference, look, as long as Giannis is in the East goes through Giannis. When you're an Eastern Conference team and you're building a squad, you're hoping that you can get 7 games versus the Bucks. That's what the goal is, because you're either going to get 7 games and you're going to lose like the Nets did to the Bucks when KD had his toe on the line, or you're going to win in a game 7 when Middleton's out and you're the Celtics and you get home court advantage. That's what you're hoping for when you're an Eastern Conference team going against Giannis. You're not gonna sweep Giannis. You're not gonna beat Giannis at this stage in his career, the way that he's playing now. You're not gonna beat him in 5. You're gonna go on a long series. You're stackpiling a team. You're going hard, building an Eastern Conference team just to have a deep playoff series versus Giannis, to have an extended series versus Giannis. And then you're just hoping, that you can force it to a game 6, game 7, and you're just flipping a coin at that point, hoping for the best, You're just crossing your fingers at that point, because Giannis is just a machine right now, and everything goes through Giannis in the Eastern Conference. Even if he's not the reigning Eastern Conference champion, everything goes through Giannis. And if you don't think Giannis and the Bucks have something to prove versus this Celtics team coming into next season, you are sadly mistaken, because Giannis and the Bucks, they're gonna want payback for what happened last year. And with Middleton back, they picked up Joe Ingles. They've kept a lot of their core. Mike Budenholzer, he sticks to his philosophy, and it's just gonna be real fun seeing these teams face off on Christmas Day, because they're probably gonna face off in that Eastern Conference Finals or semifinals based on how the records work out. But these two teams are gonna have to see each other and duke it out for best in the East. So that's gonna be a fun one. But like I said, the official schedule comes out Wednesday. If there's any new changes or anything like that, I'll keep you guys updated. I'll let you guys know what I think about it. It's football season, and I'm really locked in on the NFL right now. But we can't wait for hoops. Hoops is where we make a lot of our money. It's where we make a lot of our bets. The NBA, it's just the best. It's the best league for sports betting. It's where I can follow things numerically, and I just have a better pulse on it than I do with anything else. And I feel like it's the most consistent thing. You guys know I've said it before, but the casinos make most of their money. The books make most of their money on the NFL. The NFL is where they hit everybody up at, because it's a lot of Joes betting the NFL, and it's just a lot of different, it's so many different scenarios that can occur in a football game. There's so many different factors going on at once, just so many different things. But in the NBA, you got 5 players. You got a rotation on each team, and you kind of could get a better pulse for what's going on and notice certain trends and just see the trajectory of certain things going on, pay attention to certain key numbers. So I can't wait for the NBA season to be back. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hit about 66, 67% of our bets last season. We were up 28 units, and I didn't even start, going on record and really going in with the bets and really locking in until January. So this season, we're going to have a full season. I want to double that amount of units. I want to go super hard this year, guys. And I appreciate all the feedback and information you guys have. I leave the social in the description. Get at me. I like bouncing ideas back and forth with you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the videos. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, peace.